7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You think Michael when he said he's gonna make Wreath and let him back to work?
Well, hang on.
He gave out the blueprint. That is really a good blueprint.
Y'all can FaceTime me later.
The garage to right at 8,000 square feet.
Ooh, Lord, 10 times. The Lord will do it. The Lord. What you doing over here?
I came to get all up in your Wreath business.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to All Up in Your What? Wreath Business Podcast. I miss this podcast so much, and I'm super excited to have our guest today, Mr. Max Buechler, you guys. He is the owner of M&B Crafts right here, you guys, and I'm super excited to have him. Hi, Max.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. You guys come on in. Today, we're about to get all up in his business of the wreath making and teaching and selling and all of those things, you guys. He is super talented, and he's also one of the youngest successful wreath makers that I know. So, you guys, stay tuned. And if you have any questions toward the end of the broadcast, we'll be happy to ask some of those questions to Max. So, hello, everyone. Come on in. So, Max, our first question is, how old were you when you started making wreaths?
I was only 16 when I first started.
Wow.
Or in high school.
Wow. So what kind of sparked your interest into crafting and wreath making? Was it something that your parents done or you saw something?
Well, I started wreath making when I was 16, but I started crafting probably when I was like 13 or 12. I was more of a paper crafter. So I did a lot of like cards and journals and stuff. And then it kind of got boring. So then I came across wreath making and I tried it and I loved it.
Awesome. Now that's cool. I know the scrapbooking is really popular with a lot of crafters too. And they kind of dibble and dabble into both worlds. So that's awesome. So you started at 16. What was did you start selling right away or how did that happen?
So my aunt and uncle own a farm, which is like a wedding venue. But before it was a wedding venue, it was a pumpkin farm. So they had vendors come every year to sell. So I started selling there. And then I just started kind of selling to local people on my just my normal Facebook. And then COVID hit and I was not in school anymore because we couldn't be at school. So then I started a YouTube channel and kind of watched videos and then opened an Etsy shop.
Now that's really super cool to have a venue like that. That's amazing. So you kind of grew up seeing and being around like crafting and booths and craft fairs for some. That is really good. Now that's an experience. That's a good learning experience, especially for small, young children or young teenagers to see and kind of learn the value of selling things. So I think that's pretty amazing. Like I would love to grow up being around a craft fair or a vendor kind of fest. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you started selling there, you opened your first Etsy shop, and I went to YouTube too when I first started making wreaths. How did you kind of go over into Facebook and all the other social medias and see like, whoa, because that was me.
Yeah.
Like, what? There's people over here.
Yeah. I started like watching everyone on YouTube and then they kept on saying, oh, follow my Facebook page. And I really didn't realize that there was a whole like thing over here. So I'm like, well, screw it. Let me just try making a Facebook page. So I made a Facebook page and I was absolutely terrified to go live because I was so used to filming. And then if I didn't like it, I just deleted it or didn't post it.
Yeah.
But the go live button, you're there, no turning back now. So I just started going live and I would have only like 5 or 10 people watching, which was more comfortable for me. And then all of a sudden it just blew up one day. And all of a sudden we were at 100, 200 people. And I'm like, then I started freaking out. But
yeah. Now you're natural, right?
Yeah.
So I see you doing your thing, not only on Facebook, but a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
And when you say blew up. So, what kind of made you pivot from Facebook over to TikTok? I know it's like younger generations love TikTok because even my niece, like, what, she's 9 or 10. She's
Yeah.
doing the dances and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So you just started going live on there as well, and it kind of took off.
yeah, I was kind of like trying to. I mean, I had a great audience on Facebook, but I'm like, I kind of want to. I heard, I think it was Damon one time said you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So I was like, well, if something would happen to my Facebook page, I kind of would be lost because I only have that. I'm kind of relying on that because at that time I kind of gave up on YouTube because I'm like, go live and just make, or go live on YouTube, or go on YouTube and make a tutorial and then have to edit it and post it and do all that. I was like, yeah, no. So I was like, I'll just rather do Facebook. But then I was like, I should probably like go somewhere else. So I was like, I'm already like comfortable on TikTok. I'm on it almost all the time. And I started to see how people were, all these businesses on TikTok. I'm like, well, if these Tumblr and t-shirt people can do it, why can't a wreath maker do it? So I just started, and then I kind of gave up because if you guys have ever been on TikTok, it's hard to get, you have to have 1,000 followers to go live. So you have to just keep posting and posting and posting and hope. And I kind of gave up. And then one day I was on a trip to Florida and it was a 17-hour car ride and it was boring. And I'm like, what can I do? So I just started taking pictures and videos from my camera roll and making TikToks out of them and just posting them the whole time. And when I got back from Florida, I had 1,000 followers. And so I went live the next day, and then it kind of started growing.
Yes. So you're over 80K, like you're over 80,000, right?
Yeah, I'm about 200 away from 90,000.
So y'all hear that? If you're not following Max on TikTok, go over there and ring it up. Ring it up, okay? I love it. So your TikTok name, what's your name on TikTok? Is it MB Crafts, right?
It's MB Crafts by Max.
By Max. Okay, you guys, go ring up his TikTok. 200 away, you guys. I think we can pull that off and make that happen this weekend. That's amazing. We all have those types of things where we struggle, in the beginning to get started, to get going, especially like just to reach that first threshold. Even YouTube has like so many watch hours or 1,000 followers before you can kind of reach that threshold to do your thing. So it's amazing how far you can go. You just keep putting your mind to it. So that's pretty cool. So I also see that you teach not only virtual classes, but you do a lot of in-person classes like each season. Can you tell me a little bit more of how you got started into that?
So my aunt messaged me one day and was like, because they have this thing on Wednesday nights at the wedding venue where they have the bar open to the public and they have music and food. And she was like, I was thinking about doing kind of like a sip and craft on Wednesday nights as well, just to kind of add another little thing into it. So she's like, would you be interested in doing some crafting projects there? And I was like, I've always wanted to do like either in-person classes or in-home party classes where I go to people's houses and kind of design with them. And so I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I don't have to go out and rent a venue. I don't have to do this or that. I have the venue. All I have to do is bring the people. So I was like, of course. So I just started picking out projects and posting it, and it kind of started growing. And I did about, I think I started in May. I did one each month from May until September. I did my last one 2 weeks ago. And so I did like 5 or 6 of them this summer, and it was great.
That is super cool. So do you live like in a small town or is it a big city where you live?
I live in a town with like less than 2,000 people.
Oh, so when you drive around town, can you see like wreaths that people have made in your class on their door?
Some of them, yes, but it's kind of crazy because a lot of the people come from far away. Like I have people that come 3 hours away to just come to my classes that follow me online. So it's kind of crazy. I'm like,
wow, then that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you got it going on, you guys. So tell us a little bit more. So you're now a college student.
Yeah.
Is this your sophomore year?
Yes, sophomore year.
Okay. So what are you studying in college?
Business management.
Oh, awesome. You're gonna put some good use to that. That's good. Yes, sir. I want my son to be like you, man. You got it all planned out and got it all going on. And again, That's amazing. Like you have that venue, and that's something that is really positive to like have a family business kind of going. Yeah, now y'all got it going on. Yeah, I got it going on. That's amazing. So, if there's one thing that you can kind of tell me and elaborate on about what you like about the craft community, like what have you learned about the people that you serve in a way?
I love how we're all like super positive and connected. Because like I look at like a bunch of other like communities like the Tumblr and this and that, and they're kind of cutthroat and like they kind of don't step into each other's boundaries, and they don't really talk very much. So it's nice how like we have, like if you've never been to any of the Wreath conventions, we have conventions and retreats where all of us wreath makers come together like we're family, and we each talk, connect, and grow and inspire each other. And at the end of the day, we all are still making wreaths. We're all selling. We're all marketing towards the same audiences, but we all still can be friends, and we're not like trying to like, oh, I can't talk to you because you're going to take my customers, this and that. Like we're super supportive of each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's the number one thing too in this community, because it's room for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really seriously is, and the friendships that you make,
Yeah.
the connections that you make is really important. And you never know who can help you with things, and you can help
Right.
someone, vice versa. So I
Yeah.
really like that. We have that camaraderie. So, tell me something about what you have coming up for your business. Do you have anything exciting?
Um, I kind of I want to do more in-person classes. And eventually, once I graduate college, which is hopefully next December, I plan to move out of because I work out of my basement of my house where I grew up, and I would like to get like a warehouse, and then eventually my goal is to start selling supplies.
Awesome. Now that's really nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah. Are there craft stores per se where you live in your area that will have like a store to shop in?
Well, we have like Hobby Lobby, Joann's, but we don't have like wreath suppliers around here.
Right. Right. So that may be really awesome. Really awesome. So, tell me what motivates you to what pushes you and drives you every day to get up and keep going in your business, just to try something new or just to inspire other people. What drives you to that?
I guess it's kind of like my age. A lot of people don't really see people my age having like a full scale business and being passionate about it as much. And a lot of people, like I hear a lot of people that are like, oh, like you have a business, is it successful? Or what are you going to do after you graduate college? Are you still going to continue that little wreath business of yours? And that's something that like, there's a lot of people that don't really know what my business is like. If they don't follow me on my social media, they don't really keep up with it. They just kind of see me out on the street and they're like, oh, that's that little wreath maker that does it out of his parents' basement, but they don't realize like how big it's grown and all this. So my motivation is just to kind of show to them like, like you may have one judgment, but that's not what it's like. So I want to just keep growing and be able to not have to go to a 9 to 5 ever, and be able to say I really had a 9 to 5 except for working for family, and kind of be able to say like in 20-30 years, be able to say, yeah, I've had my business since I was 16 and be like in my 50s or 60s.
And retired.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, you got it going on.
Yeah.
That is like the best goal ever that I've heard probably on this podcast. And we've had 31 episodes of this podcast. When I tell you, you are so like, you have just such a head start, so business minded to be your age and to be so young. It's amazing. It really is amazing, and I wish you so much success. When you said little, I kind of made a face because that's my pet peeve of people saying your little Wreath business. Right?
Like,
it's nothing little about it. When I see your shipping videos, or you may make a shipping post, you got 20 packages of wreaths lined up going out all the time. There's nothing little about M&B Crafts, okay? He is head of the game. So if your friends tune into this, you have big business and big goals and big dreams. And I'm super excited just to see and watch you kind of pivot, and you're doing the right thing. You're going and you're getting a higher education to go with it, with that business administration degree, child. It's no stopping you. So
Yeah.
I know your parents are super proud, and we just enjoy watching it in this community, and we're here to support you as well. So he's awesome, you guys. If you haven't met Max in person, he is super sweet, just how he is right here on this show, and that's something that is to be seen. It's really cool. So thank you for coming on. What is
Yeah.
something that you would have, like, if what piece of advice would you have for someone who maybe likes to craft, does it as a hobby, maybe if they get a time once a week, and maybe they want to see this and kind of venture out into it being a business? What's some advice that you would tell them to get started?
Well, for me, I mean, I guess it kind of goes back to what I was just saying is like there's going to be people that don't like support you or that don't understand what the crafting or don't think, oh, you can make money selling your designs and your crafts. But if you can put your mind to it, you can do it. I would have never imagined when I turned 16 and when I started selling wreaths, I would have never thought that I would be going to these conventions and standing on stage and having almost 100,000 followers and shipping out probably 50 to 100 to 200 wreaths a month. Like, I would have never thought that, but I just kept on telling myself, Max, if you can do it, you keep on, you see how you're growing already. And if you just keep on doing it, you can go anywhere. So don't let anyone, you're always going to have haters. Just tune those out. Those are the people that are jealous that they're the ones that are jealous that they can't be like you. They're stuck in their 9 to 5 every day. They hate their job, but they don't have the courage to go out and do and follow their passion because they're afraid of failure. But you can't be afraid of failure.
Yeah.
The biggest regret a lot of people have is they don't follow their dreams because they're scared to fail. But the worst that's going to happen is you fail, and then you just know that either you have to try harder or you have to, maybe that's just not the right path for you.
Right, right. And that is so true. It's people gonna talk whether you're doing something good, whether you're
Yeah.
doing something bad. I mean, they're gonna talk. You have to kind of stay focused on that. And even if you don't have or see success right away, stay consistent, keep at it, keep doing it, keep growing into your craft. How much Someone has a question in our audience. She says, how much cost up front do you need to get started? I started my shop 1 or 2, maybe 3 wreaths, and it just depends. So to get an Etsy shop is absolutely free. To do your first listing, what is it, 2 cents?
20 cents, I think.
20 cents? Yeah, 20 cents. So it's like really cheap for you to get started with an Etsy shop. So basically start small, go out and or get you some supplies, maybe enough to make 2 to 3 wreaths, and start that way and start posting and doing that. And then just sign up. You can sign up. You can start out as a sole proprietor. You don't have to right away go get an LLC and do all of these things, just to try it out and see your comfort level on where you want to go with your business. But not much. You don't have to have all the fancy things, you guys, I promise. You don't have to go out and get a stem cutter or a pick machine. You don't have to have a glue skillet right away. Get your glue gun, some glue sticks at the craft section. Go and check it out. That's exactly how I started. So yeah, just give it a try and give it a chance to go. Yeah. So if anyone else in our comments have a question for Mr. Max, now's your time to kind of sound off. Tell me something else, Max, about how do your parents feel about you doing your business?
Well, in the beginning, they kind of just thought it was like a hobby, and they're like, oh, like this is more like a phase where he'll kind of probably venture out in something else. And because I didn't really have an Etsy shop, I just kind of started doing it for fun. It was more of like a fun little thing that I would do to just, I'm not into video games or anything like that, so I didn't really have any hobbies or anything like that. So when COVID hit, I kind of had nothing to do. So I'm like, well, let's just do this. And then I was like, well, I remember the one day I went upstairs to my mom and I'm like, I'm going to start an Etsy shop. And she was like, looking at me like, what is an Etsy shop? I'm like, well, I'm going to start selling online and I'm going to start shipping and I'm going to sell everywhere. I'm going to be global. And she was kind of like, she's chuckling. And I'm like, so then I remember like a couple months later, I come running upstairs at like after a Facebook Live and I'm like, I just made my first Etsy sale. And my mom, if you guys didn't know, my mom works at a post office. So I'm like, how do I ship this now? I don't know anything about shipping. And she's like, I don't either. I just deliver the packages. I don't know how to do all the shipping. So I did all my research and I kind of just started doing that. And then Wait, what was the question again? I feel like I just started going on a tangent.
How do your parents feel about your?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm like, wait, where am I getting at with this? And then they started seeing I was like getting maybe 1 or 2 sales a month, and then all of a sudden I just kept on going, and then I was ready to graduate college, and I'm like I was debating if I want to go to college or not, and my mom and dad were like, I think you should go, and I'm like, yeah, but like think about how much more I could be doing in my business if I wouldn't go to college. And then I got a scholarship that covered it, so I was like, well, I might as well just go now. So I went, I'm still going, and now I guess I didn't really realize the whole community until they went with me at General Wholesale in April, and then
Oh
they were
yeah.
like, wow, this is like a whole thing, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I was kind of like, because my parents always been like, how can you trust these people? Like, how do you even know these people? Like, because when I went to Craft Convention for the first time, they're like, you've never met these people in your life. Like, my mom was like terrified of sending me out into the big world, driving down to Illinois to go meet all these people. I'm like, promise, mom, these people are nice. Like, it's like I know them, but I really like I haven't ever met them before. But I watch all the lives, I talk to them, and so now they're like, wow. My mom's like, I want to quit my job and make Wreath.
Let's go, Mom.
Yeah, I'm like, you can be my shipping man.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. That's awesome. I remember seeing your parents and they were looking like, and we were like, ah. So I think Candy said the same thing, that her husband didn't really realize until he went to in-person retreat. Like, okay. You know, this is a real type of thing. I'm like, yeah. So that's amazing.
I have a question.
I do have another question from Miss Cindy Lee. She
Yep.
says, if you have no income and you sign up for Etsy and you sell nothing and your wreaths are sitting around, and again, you have no income, what do you suggest? Miss Cindy, I started making wreaths just as a hobby. I started out with my first wreath, and I was taking care of my grandmother at the time, who was had a home health care nurse. They would come maybe 2 or 3 times a week just to check on her and give her baths and stuff. And I had a wreath hanging up on the wall, and she's like, oh, that's pretty. Did you make that? And I said, yes. She bought it. She said, you should sell these. Can I buy it? And that was the first wreath that I've ever sold. You don't have to necessarily, just go straight to Etsy. Always think about your local area as well. I'm now a florist, which is something that I did not see myself pivoting to, but the owner of the florist shop kind of saw my wreaths on Facebook and said, hey, I'd like to meet you. And it kind of came into, well, I want you to design. And so you just never know what will be out there for you. But as far as Etsy, make sure you post on all your social medias. Make sure you're getting eyes seen on your product. Even I've had wreaths, somebody have asked and bought wreaths off my own front door, things like that, especially if you live in a close-knit community or apartments as well. That's, advertising in itself, just having something on your front door as well. So what would you think to say to her, Max?
So because I started when I was in high school, so I really didn't have like a lot of income either, but I was just I started with the dollar store products. Like when I first ventured into wreath making, I had no idea that there was a whole community out here. Like I was at the dollar store one day getting something for my paper crafting, and I came across deco mesh and ribbon and the tubing, and then on the back of the little deco mesh, they have like a picture of a wreath, and it says, this is what you need to make your wreath. So I remember running home one day, and I made the Halloween wreath, and I'm like, wow, this is like so cool. And it costed me like maybe $14 to make. And then once I started actually getting into the wreath world, I just went on to like Craft Outlet or something, and I bought only the materials I needed to make that wreath. I think it was a ladybug wreath. So I bought the sign, the mesh, and then I didn't buy anything else because I already had a scissors and a glue gun from when I was little. And I didn't buy any materials until I sold that wreath. And then whatever money I made off that wreath, I would go back on and I bought another supply. And then eventually you kind of start, you don't spend all of your profit, and then you can kind of invest in other things. So you don't really need a lot of people. Because like I even hear this all the time, like, oh, I make wreaths, but I have nowhere near the inventory that you have. But that's because I've been doing it for 3.5 years, and you start to accumulate. And then once you have a profit at the end of the season, you can go and buy clearance stuff to stock up for next year, so you save money. And then you eventually get supplies. But when you first start, you don't need a whole ribbon rack with 50,000 rolls of ribbon and 20,000 rolls of mesh and 50,000 signs. You can start small and grow, because that's what I did.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's definitely how you build, you guys, especially those after season sales. I preach that. So we have another question from Miss Mary Crabtree. She says, "What did you do that had the most impact on your growth on Facebook?" That's a great question.
For me, I just kept on going live. I knew that if I wouldn't go live, I wouldn't post, I wasn't going to get anywhere. I have a lot of people that message me and they're like, "Hey, I started on Facebook about a year ago and I have no traction." And I'm like, "Well, what's your Facebook page?" And so they send me their Facebook page. And mind you, this is like maybe in October. And the last Facebook post that they made was Happy 4th of July. Well, 4th of July is in July. It's not October. You haven't posted in the last 3 or 4 months. People aren't just going to randomly find you because Facebook decided to push you out. Facebook's going to push out, or you're going to get more traction the more posts you do. And if you're getting a lot more followers, that's you out, but you have to put in the work. You should be posting on all your social medias at least once a day. Even if you're on vacation, like if I'm on vacation in the Bahamas, I still have to go on and make a post. Just because I'm on vacation doesn't mean I can slack off. You can also, if it's like you're like, I'm busy, there's apps out there where you can make your social media posts take one day out of the week where you make all your Facebook posts for the day, and then you can schedule them. And then you put in that you want this post on Facebook at 6 p.m. and Facebook will automatically post it for you. So
Absolutely.
Stay consistent. That's how I started. And then once you start going live and you get more traction, and then people share you out to different pages, and then you just start to kind of go.
Absolutely. Consistency is key, you guys. That's great advice. So Miss Johnny Thurman says, "How long did it take you to master a good looking bow?"
Well, when I first started wreath making, none of my wreaths had bows because I couldn't make a bow to save my life. And I just started watching YouTube videos, and I bought myself like a cheap roll of Costco ribbon, and I would just practice and practice and practice. And they were like, once I made my first bow, it was still nothing to brag about, but I continued to just, it's like riding a bike. If you don't, you're going to fail. But if you have to keep on going, it's like, even like wreath making, your first wreath may not look amazing, but you just got to keep going. And, yeah, it's funny. I actually just, this past Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I just taught a bow making masterclass to 250.
Wow, congratulations. That is awesome, man. 250 people.
Yeah. Most
Go,
of them were like, I
go.
can't make a bow. And I was like, trust me, I couldn't make a bow when I was first starting too. So,
Yeah.
so good at it. I'm like, well, trust me, when I first started, it did not look like this. So,
Oh no.
take
And mine
class.
was hideous. And I'm surprised someone bought it. But you know the pre-made bows, like the plastic ones from the Dollar Tree?
Yeah.
I got it and stuck it on there.
Yep.
Just how much I could make a bow. Now
Yep.
I'm just like, whoop, whoop, whoop. And my mom could naturally make bows, and I learned a lot of and stuff from her, but she wasn't a slow teacher. Like, I was like, show me how to make a bow. And she just whipped up eight loop bow, like,
Yeah.
okay, blood, got it. And I sat there. It may have took me a day or two, and I sat there and played with ribbon. Dollar Tree ribbon. Like you said, you got some from Costco. Y'all know Sam's ribbon. Get you some cheap ribbon and just sit there and practice. Some bows, I've watched people, I will slow them down on the video and do every step by step with them. So try that, Miss Johnny. That seemed to work for me. So we have one more question, I believe. Says, Max, what do your friends think of your business?
Well, like when I was in high school, a lot of them, they thought it was like amazing. They always have all these questions and all this, and some of them I'm like, I don't feel like answering that question. They're all like, how much money do you make? This and that. And I'm like, well, it's probably more. I used to say it's probably more money than you make at Piggly Wiggly, but we're not going to go there. So, but they just, a lot of them follow me and they see it, so they think it's awesome. I remember a couple of them were like, do you need help? Do you want me to come help you? I'm like, no, I got it, because I'm just like, I'm like, if you're down here, I think it's gonna go south. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty cool. They'll catch on later on. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it. Don't worry about a thing.
yeah.
So a lot of people says, do you primarily sell local? Do you sell more local or do you sell more Etsy? That's a good
I
question.
probably sell 98% online.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. You're able to reach more people, you guys. So remember, post,
mm,
make small videos, all of those new things. If you see a new feature come along, my advice to you is to hop on it. With as far as social media goes, try to hop on in there, you guys. That's like the winning spot, right?
mhm.
So just do your due diligence and show up every day for your business, and you have to, if you want to see a lot of growth, you have to continue to show up and then kind of come up with original ideas. That always helps,
Yeah,
as far as being seen and getting eyes on you. Come up with something original, do your thing, and you'll be surprised on where it takes you.
yeah.
So tell me, Max, how can everyone find you on TikTok? Well, no, before I do all that, tell me about your group, your coaching group here on Facebook.
So I started a group back in, I think it was like the end of March. I think it was like, I'm pretty sure I started the week before I left for General Wholesale, which General Wholesale was the first week of April. So back in March, I started a group. I had so many people asking me since like the first year of my business. They're like, we want to learn from you. Can you start doing classes? And I did a few like smaller classes that were like 1 or 2 days, and then like they were like more like master classes. But they're like, you should start a subscription group. Well, when I was in high school, I couldn't really do it because I was at sporting events in school. I'm like, if you're paying, I don't want to have you pay me and then I can't go live during the week because I'm busy. So once I kind of, now that I'm in college, I have my schedule. I started a group, and it's just me right now. It's $9.99 a month, and you get one tutorial every single Thursday. So we go in the group every Thursday, and I teach you a variety of things. We've done wreaths, we've done swags, we've done garlands, we've done centerpieces, we've done bows, we've done, and when I say wreaths, we've done grapevine, mesh, moss, evergreen, lasso. We've done pretty much all of it. And it's a group through Facebook, so you pay through Facebook, and we've got almost 100 members in there, and it's been so much fun learning, and they post pictures of what they've been making, and I can already see improvements in like since when they first started the group, and they were showing me the wreaths, and now I can see them posting because they may not think I remember, but I remember like I could put two and two together, and I can see that what you're learning, you're taking in, and it's very in depth. If you've watched many of my other tutorials and stuff, they're more faster paced when I go live on TikTok and stuff, but it's very it's like an overhead view, so you can see up close, and I love it. And eventually, I hope to grow it and get other designers in there. But right now, I think I'm comfortable where I'm at, and I'm still learning all of it too, because like it's only been, even though it started in April, it's only a couple of months, so it'll take time. But we've been slowly growing it, and yeah.
Cool. So how can they join your group, and how many tutorials and all those things do they get?
So one tutorial a week, so you get about 4 tutorials a month, and we have other bonus content in there too. And then if you join the group, like if you join the group today, you have access to all the content since we started. So there's probably close to 50 or 60 tutorials in there to go back and rewatch. So it's super nice. And if you want to join the group, I don't have a direct link yet, but I wish I had like a learnfrommax.com or whatever. If you go to my Facebook page, on the top there should be a link that says MB Craft Supporter or something. Click on that and it'll take you there. Otherwise, if you go to my link tree, which I think my link tree is posted in my TikTok bio or on my Facebook page, it's there as well. Or any of my replays on Facebook have my link tree on the top. Once you get to my link tree, you can just look for MBVIP, and then that's my private group. Or you can message me, and I can too.
All right, that's super cool. MBVIP, you guys. So make sure you click. Probably Linktree is gonna be the easiest way to go to, and just make sure you click. Can they join your TikTok through your Linktree and all the other socials?
Every social media, all my favorite suppliers, everything is in there for you guys. So
Okay,
that's like my one.
Awesome. Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all go and check him out. If you're not following MB Crafts right here on Facebook or MB Crafts with Max on TikTok, make sure you go and follow that today. Do it now. Do it now. as you can see, support this young man, you guys. I think he is a true gem. It's for the next generation coming up. He's got his head on right. We do have one more question here I saw from Miss Donna, and I think it goes into place with where we're going. But she says, Max, I'm so impressed with what you're doing and what you've accomplished. Do you feel like you're missing out on outside activities of other college students? So I'm sure you still get time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you still get time to go hang out with the people.
Yeah, I make sure that like family is really important to me too. So I make sure that, I mean, there are weeks that I feel like I'm really focused on my business, but that's just because I have a lot to do. But other than that, my look at it is like people are like, you should kind of enjoy life now. But I'm like, I would rather work my tail end off now to save up so that way when I'm older, I can spend more time and I can go on more vacations and this and that, and then I don't have to work as hard. I work hard now, so.
Oh yeah. I think I saw it may have been a reel or something the other day, and it was like, my parents lied to me. They said you can do anything you put your mind to. Once you get grown, you can do anything you want. No, anything you want to do once you get grown. And it was like, once I got grown, I could do anything I could afford to do. They lied to me. And I was like, yeah, they forgot to tell you that stuff costs.
Yeah.
It was funny to me, but that's very true. I think you're going down a great, wonderful path. And, you know, starting at 16, just to have this longevity in the industry, I think is something that you're probably born to do at this point, because if you held on to it this long, you definitely have a passion for it going forward, you know. So I think you're on a great path. You guys, make sure you go and support him and follow his page for all the things coming up at MB Crafts. And I appreciate you for coming on. You guys, we do this podcast every Sunday now.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Sunday it's back on, you guys. I know a lot of people are saying, when are you coming back with the podcast? It's on. So be sure to join me next week at the same time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time with Kathy. She is the owner of Decorator Crafts, and she's going to come on and tell us a little bit about her wreath business. So I'm super excited. And thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you, Max, for definitely coming on, you guys. Here's the first episode of season 2. I love it. I love it. So we will see you guys next time. Y'all have an amazing weekend and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye, you guys.
Bye.